What is up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Apologies for last Monday. I will be quite honest with you. I had been running so much for several days in a row. Monday slipped by me, and I was just exhausted. Kind of felt ran down and everything. Eric, he did check in and see if we were going to do the live. And at that point, I was about to. Actually, I might have already been asleep. I can't remember. But anyway, apologies. We are back tonight. I have sent him the link, so we'll see if he pops on. He hasn't messaged me tonight. Maybe he's mad. I don't know. But anyway, um, Carlisle here says, "Good evening, gentlemen. I made hamburgers tonight. I undercooked them. Does it get any worse than that?" Well, it could get a lot worse than that. You could have not cooked them at all. But yes, it's a case of the Mondays, and raw hamburger is not that good. So hopefully you get that fixed, or DoorDash. I don't know if you're in an area you can DoorDash, but DoorDash. What is up, JJ? Thank you again, brother, for the gift that you sent me the tracking for. That is just sick, man. Um, so definitely appreciate that. Anyway, it's been a crazy weekend. I will go out and start if anybody is watching or tunes in later. Um, the SGC order, I have not been lazy and just not updated the website. They haven't, like, it hasn't been started on. I did some digging around with areas where I always go to check. Um, like where they're at, like kind of what the status and the turnarounds look like and everything. Um, there's some wonky stuff going on with it looks like they're doing a lot of the tops orders and the Pokemon orders, and some of the bulk orders are actually lagging behind those. I don't know if they're getting too many of the tops and Pokemon specials in, and the other stuff is like being like I don't want to say set to the side, but they're trying to get because of all those other orders being individual, and they know they can knock a bulk order out quicker. I don't know if that's what's going on or what, but just to let everybody know, I haven't been lazy. There's just nothing to update on the site yet. So hopefully there'll be, hopefully it gets done. I hope and pray for everybody out there. I love all y'all, but I hope if they get it done, it is like not the end of the week because as James mentioned, how are you doing, sir? He said, "What's up?" And Chantilly's coming fast. This weekend is the CSA Chantilly show, and I am going to be going to that. So I don't want the order coming in because that is going to be a pain in the ass to try to get it done and shipped out and all of that stuff. So I really hope they get it done to where I can get the order done and shipped back to y'all before Chantilly, but we'll see how it goes. Bravo's here, says, "What's up, Bobbles and fam? How are you doing, sir?" Doing pretty good. Carlos said he was craving it all day long. Definitely a Monday. Yeah, DoorDash, brother. DoorDash. I'm just kidding. Sean said, "What's cracking besides that?" That is no joke. I actually, I didn't even realize it, but this is how things go and get crazy. All weekend, my right knee was killing me. And luckily, it felt a little bit better today. So maybe I just tweaked it or something. I don't know. Or I'm just getting old, as people say. Sadie here said, "How's the weekend haul looking, bro?" It wasn't just the weekend haul, but yesterday's haul was just absolutely insane. Um, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Eric,
Hey,
I
buddy.
was trying to catch him. He didn't have a chocolate stick, but he was taking a big swig of his drink.
Yeah,
Um, so, what is up, sir? I'm just catching up on the chat here. So,
yeah, it's good to see you. I hope all's well.
yeah, I told everybody, I don't know if you caught it. I apologize for last Monday. I was kind of worn down and had been running. And I give you credit where credit is due. He did reach out to see if we were doing it, and I dropped the ball. All on me, my fault. I'm not gonna blame Eric, but y'all can hit the like button and make you pay. It's all one and the same. So there we
Oh
go.
yeah, that makes sense. Sure. Yeah. Well,
Bravos, how are the estate sales going? So to be honest, I kind of stopped. Well, I shouldn't say I stopped. I haven't been going to estate sales as much. I've been kind of shying away from them because I kind of learned the ropes of estate sales. Um, Early days, like the opening day, and even up until the last day, they price the hell out of their stuff. So it's kind of hit or miss, and I have to travel to them, and so that kind of got to be a little rough to travel that far and then not be able to find anything at a deal. You were basically paying retail or market price on stuff. We do go sometimes if there's one that looks decent, and we'll hit it on like the last day, 50% off day or whatever. But been doing some other things. So let's see, what's up with Lamar? What do you think is going to happen? I thought the Ravens were just like, I think they can franchise him for the next 2 years, or I think it's 2 years. Could possibly be a clause for three, but I thought they were going to franchise him and just continue to try to work on that deal. It is kind of complicated with him not having an agent, so then you're trying to deal directly with him, and obviously he wants what's best and the most money and everything for him. And he's seen some other deals that were leveraged, Deshaun Watson, the Russell Wilsons. Like there was several deals out there that's telling Lamar, I'm getting paid.
those
And
were bad deals, and
yeah,
and Denver paid the price.
but as a player, if you work at a job and let's say your coworker isn't doing as efficiently as you are, but they get a hell of a raise,
Yep.
you're going to expect that and more. So, I get it. But I also can't blame him if he does decide he wants to go elsewhere because he needs help. Like Lamar is a hell of an athlete,
He
but
is.
he needs like he can only do so much. He can rush for 1,200 yards, but he needs somebody to throw the ball to. And they've had some good receivers, but if you look at the Ravens receiving history, they just either the good ones don't stay or the ones they drafted high didn't pan out. So they gotta be able to swing both, pay him and bring in help, or else you're just paying him to be frustrated, basically.
In a
So
salary in a salary cap league, you have to, and I'm glad that Carlos isn't around because he'll get mad if I say this. You have to do it like Tom Brady did it. Tom consistently took less money. He was never the highest paid player. He always took the hometown discount because he knew that if he took all the money, he's not going to have a line. And if he takes all the money, he's not going to have receivers, and he's not going to have running backs, and he's not going to have a defense. And, he knew that. I mean, and he took less money his entire career. And in return, he ended up with 6 Super Bowls and a dynasty and more money he could possibly ever imagine that comes with winning.
well, he also had another secret piece to the formula that a lot of these other guys don't have. He had a supermodel wife that made more money than he did, so he necessarily didn't need the money.
I will take Tom Brady's smallest paycheck of his career and live off that the rest of my life. So when you hear
Oh yeah.
about how he took less, that's still more than you and I will ever have. So
I'm working on it. Remember,
I know you're in the
you are experienced in the addiction aspect of things, and I have been accused of being addicted to money. So
Well, no, you are.
I have you as a counselor, but I'm
Yes.
working towards the Tom Brady smallest paycheck level. Hopefully, one day. No.
I can't wait because I'm going to ask you for a loan.
Well, if I ever get to that level, I will definitely I'll buy you some crumble cookies. How about that?
I like the idea of that.
Paul here says, just here to get ideas on vintage hats. Speaking of vintage hats, I showed Paul this before I came on. This was exciting. This was part of the sale we went to yesterday. I woke up at 5 a.m. on a Sunday and drove an hour and a half to go to this sale, the one that Sadie was mentioning. But this was an item that I picked up. Anybody that's not familiar, you're probably thinking I'm stupid. It's a Raiders hat, whatever. This is actually a Raiders logo athletic. It's called the shark tooth pattern. This may sound silly, but the last one of these hats sold for $450. I listed it up for 500 or best offer, and in less than a minute, I did have two offers come in at 300. I'm kind of being patient with it because there's just not many online, and I do know what they have been able to get. But yeah, that was part of the pickup yesterday. So
and I don't. It's up to you whether or not you want to tell us. You could tell me later on the side, but my big question is, what are you into the hat for, versus what you're going to sell it for? And knowing you may have paid $5 for it.
no, I didn't. And I'll be honest. Yesterday's sale that we went to, so I seen the listing on Facebook before I went to bed on Saturday night. And the guy had posted a video and several pictures of like boxes of stuff he had. And I reached out to him in Messenger and I said, "Hey, I'm interested in your hats. And some of your plush, he had video game content, and I was trying to get an idea of what his prices were because I couldn't see prices on anything.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to get cash out and bring it with me. Make sure I got enough, just trying to see what you're at on stuff. He messages me back and he's like, I have 60 hats. They're $2 a piece.
Oh, so you didn't pay $5. You paid $2.
I paid $2. I got a lot of stuff from him. But in fairness, the guy was actually a reseller that decided he only wants to now focus on action figures, like toys and action figures. And so he was selling out inventory he had. He knew what he had, but he had it priced at blowout prices, like yard sale prices. So I got a ton of cool stuff. Very excited about all of the pickups. And it should do very, very, very well. So
you're into the hat for $2. Get and hold of the guy that offered you 300 and take the deal before the booze wears off.
Well, there was two people actually sent offers in at 300. So I will add in Carlos here so he can also make sure everybody understands how much Eric likes the like button.
He likes
How
the
are you
like
doing,
button
sir? I got
almost as
a
much
few
as he
more
likes
comments
mayonnaise.
here, but
He likes
what's
like
that?
almost as much as he likes mayonnaise, and he has a undying passion for mayonnaise. Literally, he wouldn't shut up about it last live stream. Would not shut up about it.
Okay,
Incredible.
so I missed that part in full transparency here. But I must know, does he like Miracle Whip?
Oh, listen, he likes everything mayonnaise. It was like he insisted that we had to stop everything else we were talking about, and we had to discuss this topic at like almost to the same degree that we had to talk about Fluffernutter.
Now, I'm not gonna razz him about Fluffernutter. My son actually likes that too.
Well, we had a 30-minute conversation on Fluffernutter.
Yeah, my son likes the marshmallow, the marshmallow fluff stuff with like peanut butter. So yeah, he likes it too. So I'm not gonna razz him about that.
Oh, we weren't razzing him, but we had questions. We had questions. There were a lot of jokes that came out of those questions.
So Josh here, Josh is a huge fan of Eric as always, and he said it's official. He can now smash the like button. I appreciate that, Josh. And it's okay, I get it. If Eric's not here and you don't, I understand. But
my response to Josh, of course, is shut up, Josh.
Canton Car Collector, my boy Guns, he said they should pay the man in reference to Lamar. I agree. I definitely want him to stay on the Ravens because he's just a blast to watch. Even if we suck, it's fun watching Lamar Jackson play.
See, that makes no sense to me. And again, now that Carlos is here, I have to be a little more careful of how I say this. But we were very fortunate to have some winning football here for a while, and it was because nobody said I want to be the highest paid player in the league. And
Oh, I don't mean it
That was
for
a
the
good
money.
cover. That was a good cover story for you're not worth being paid the most.
so
You're a cheap, low rent
the
QB.
money was spread out, and we had talent at every position, including people on special teams, and that is the way you win. And if you give all your money to one player, no matter how good, then you're not going to win. So if all he's in it for is the money, and his respect, which I know is important for players nowadays, is to get their respect, and the way you get that is through the money, then he's never going to win anything. And if you're okay with that, and the fan base is okay with that, then pay him. But you're never.
You heard Eric. Lamar Jackson should get $1.95, not a penny more. He needs to work a job in the offseason like a real man.
Bobby Orr did, and if Bobby Orr had a summer job, so can you.
I have no idea who that is, but it's kind of testament to Eric's point.
Carlisle here said he's decided that the most prudent career goal should now be to marry a rich supermodel wife. Good luck on your career goals there.
It's a valid career goal.
It
Update
worked for
resume.
Brady.
Update resume. There might still be time.
It worked for Brady. It's actually simple. $37 million a year, 3-year deal, guaranteed for Lamar. That's close to win-win. Negotiate out the franchise tag in the future, and he tells them to get 2 number 2 receivers. Look, Jay is coming in as an agent and as a GM. He's working both sides of the table here. He's telling Lamar what he should take. He's telling the Ravens what they should give. Win-win. Go, Jay. Go contact the offices. Get it done. Let's see. Bobbles turning to leave. Can't believe he didn't sell at 3. So I seen down here, Paul here said I'd take the 3. There's a few that buy it now for $325. I don't know where you're seeing the $325 buy it now. There is a $350, but for that particular hat, there is mine at $500 or best offer. There's like 2 at $350. There's only like 4 or 5 total listed, and the cheapest I found was $350. And since I can't remember what day it was, but there was one very recently that sold for $450. It's in the Terra Peak if y'all want to go verify it.
So I didn't catch the context of this. I didn't catch the context of this, but Bobbles, now is the time to sell whatever you have to sell and get your money. That's why I was late. I was talking to my broker and agent. I needed to figure out what kind of second mortgage I need to take so I could get pallets of 2023 Topps Big League. Pallets, plural.
Yes.
So
yes.
I need I need a lot of them, like a lot.
To complete the set, it sounds
like at the bare minimum. To complete the set, if nothing else, I need pallets. Pallets. Not boxes, not cases, pallets.
Yeah, well, I wonder how many cases come on a pallet.
Not enough. How else am I going to complete my set? Get my Geoff autograph card. My Bo Jackson autograph. These are my pallets.
Wait, so are the influencer cards autographed or are they just cards?
From what I understand, there is an autograph version. So there might be a base version and an autograph version. That's my understanding. I'm not 100%.
Did you get any inside
99%.
information, Eric?
I don't want to talk about any of this.
Oh, but you do. Would you rather talk about names?
What's the details?
I don't want to. This whole thing is just. Oh my good lord.
So you're saying you're going to go halvesies with me on the pallets, right?
Oh, no, I absolutely will not.
What bounty are you putting out, Eric?
I have no bounty, and
I have already got a verbal commitment from you to be the Tim from Slabstrong super collector to end all super collectors. So I expect you to have every version. I expect you to have a proof. I expect you to have, the person who came up with this idea encased in carbonite in your house.
Oh God, yeah.
Collect everything.
Mm-hmm.
I want it all.
I want it all.
I expect nothing less. And I want you to have an SGC version graded. Yep. I want you to have a PSA version. I want you to have like a Beckett 10 black label graded. Have everything.
Now I know why I've had a headache all day. It's because of, I think this may be the root of it all. Yeah, it's been now some people have known about this for a while because some people, and I'm not saying who, can't keep secrets.
Mm.
But and if you tell like somebody, say, listen, this is a secret, and you go, yep, I give you my word, I won't come out of my lips. But then that person goes to yet another person, and yet another person, and you tell 50 people individually. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's really keeping a secret, but anyway, yeah, this has been on the back burners for a while now. The announcement has been made, so everyone knows. Of course, we're very happy for Timmy Two Hats.
But so I do have a question on this.
Mm.
Okay. And that's the reason I brought that out there to you, because I know you're friends with Tim. He seems like a really nice guy and everything. I don't know him personally.
And I did extend my congratulations as well.
Is he the one? Is that the one that makes the holder that I have the Robertson in?
He's involved in that, but Corey's the one that actually makes it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, so this isn't to like knock any of the participants on the checklist, but I am curious of. There was some other sets made. I think Leaf made one, and there was some other company. I can't remember the name. I was trying to Google it, and I don't
Yeah,
remember
the
name of
influencer
it.
set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that there was already influencer sets out there, and
Mhm.
people
Yep.
laughed at it like it was the dumbest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
But with Tops doing it,
Mhm.
and I guess now making it an official thing, it's like cool. That to me is
Well, I don't think
like it's
that's the
a
feedback. I don't
concept.
think that's been the feedback, Bubbles. I made Joe. Look. I have fun with it. So I made the video about it. And in the video, I want like the only reason I made a video talking about 2020. In fairness, maybe this is good marketing. In the only reason I don't have set previews or anything on my channel. I don't do that. I might do a couple for the wrestling cards, but I've never done it. The only reason I talked about 2023 Topps Big League is I had a little fun with the Bo Jackson thing. I did go through a couple of specific
That was
things
a
that I
cool
thought were,
card.
yeah, I think it is a cool card for somebody around our age range, like you and me, or right around the same age range. Bo Jackson, like Bo Jackson's an icon. Bo knows, but I'm thinking of like an 8-year-old kid. They're gonna be like, okay, so who's this player from the Royals? So maybe, hopefully, mom or dad or whoever or uncle, maybe they can give him a little, get him up to speed on why this would be interesting.
Just show some highlights. A kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so fortunately, YouTube can help us with this. So the good news is we have a way of helping them out with that, and it's a really cool card, and it is limited. I think the one in the example is out of 25. So like that's a legitimately great pull. If you get that card, that's awesome. And there is a base version of that insert as well, so which should be way more attainable. I think it's a couple per box, so you definitely be able to get your hands on that card.
It just looks cool. It has the 8-bit design to it.
Yeah.
It's nostalgia for us, but also, there's something that still can connect with kids in that 8-bit look. It's not just Nintendo or Atari or whatever. You have Minecraft. Kids connect. They love Minecraft and everything, and it's formulated kind of in the similar pattern and everything. So I think the kids would understand it still. Maybe not necessarily who Bo is, but I still think that's a pretty cool card. Let me get caught up here on the comments before it gets out of hand. Wes here says, let's see that Robo RPA. Wes, I would love to, but it's sitting at SGC. And unfortunately, the order isn't done. So
then if it's sitting at SGC, turn around and go behind the flag and go and tell Peter to hand it to you.
Yeah, I wish.
I have and get it. Come on.
It sucks. I really want to see what it gets. It was pretty clean. I'm having high hopes that it does well, but either way, I don't care.
But you submitted to SGC Bubbles. Like the live stream is about 24 minutes in, so it means you should have it in about 35 minutes. I thought it was 1 hour grading. What the hell, man?
I'm very shocked they're not done. But
this is really disappointing.
Wanted to thank the Stars for carrying the Central while the Avs got over their injuries and back up to championship pace. Hey, in the playoffs, as we have discussed many times, any damn thing can happen. Yep. I am just thankful that the Stars have been fun to watch. The missus has had fun watching the Kraken. And at least I can enjoy a sport and have a team that is playing decent. So let's see. Didn't Bobby Orr get the first 3-pointer in NBA? I think it was
That was my
actually the first one for the Globetrotters, the NBA, the NCAA, maybe even NCAA women's. I think he like substituted in or
Well,
something.
on the side, he
man is a
also
legend.
swept the floors and drove the Zamboni. So really, a man of all
And-
talent, many talents.
And BJ here, he was even from the blind side.
Yeah. Well, that's
And he
all I
gives-
know him for. The list of things we just talked about are what I know him for. Otherwise, I have no idea who that is.
I hate
Allegedly,
you
he gives great piggyback rides too. But
That
I-
might be true.
that's the way.
I've heard that rumor.
I want to make sure everyone realizes that I hate the both of you immensely, and I hate everybody in the chat,
Mm.
and I pretty much just hate everybody. So
Wow. Wow.
I just wanted to make sure that point was clear.
Wow. Wow.
Wes here says, don't they need one number one wide receiver? Any wide receiver right now, Wes, would be great.
Mhm.
I just want them to get.
Yes,
we
Wes.
have Mark Andrews. We have Mark Andrews.
Yes, Wes. they need help. Yes, Wes. You would at least Wes. Maybe I don't hate Wes. Wes has a brain. Wes understands that you cannot give in a salary cap league all the money to one person. And yeah, you need to have a number one wide receiver. You need to have support, and you can't just have whoever's off the garbage pile and got cut from other teams or off of practice squads because they don't get paid. So yes, Wes, thank you. You smart man.
This is coming from the man, though, that is backing the team that really, outside of Randy Moss, never really had an outstanding number one. They just had very good across the board and Gronkowski.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The Patriots never really had a star wide receiver
We
except
had
for
Ocho
Randy
Cinco.
Moss. Yes,
We had
you did.
Ocho Cinco.
Yes. Okay. Pop quiz.
Yeah. Okay. So
No, he was horrible.
yeah, I was gonna say like
They threw
by that
He
point
had
he wasn't
hardly
Ocho
any catches.
Cinco.
He had
that was-
hardly any catches his
Yeah, I was gonna
entire
say-
time in New
No,
England.
I think Bobbles had more catches that year.
He was so stupid he couldn't understand the playbook, and Brady was just like, "No, you're supposed to be over there," and he just wanted to run straight because that's the only play they had in Cincinnati. He was the fastest guy in the league, and he would just outrun everybody, and they'd throw him the ball. And
Hold
Brady's
on.
like, "Oh, you got to
No,
go down,
no, no,
up,
no, no,
down,
no,
up,
no.
right," and he didn't understand that. He was too
Okay, you're
stupid.
showing lack of football here, Eric, because Ocho wasn't that fast. He actually was one of the best route runners in the NFL. He has immaculate footwork when he's running his routes. Speed, he doesn't have. He's good at trash talking. He's good at eating McDonald's. He
Changing
can
his
play
name,
some
changing his name to
soccer.
match his nickname.
Yep.
He can, yeah. He was very good at that. Speed, no.
Fine.
Here's another
He's-
pop quiz.
you know, I
Where was
like
that
it.
Super Bowl
Thomas
taken?
Perry.
Where did that Super Bowl take place?
Which one? The one that he was actually
That
in?
Ocho was on the team. Where did the Super Bowl take place?
I couldn't tell you. Probably.
There you
New
go. It was in Indianapolis.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't even know because I was actually there and I went for media day and all that stuff. So
He couldn't understand the playbook and was never where he was supposed to be. And
We got it.
His
You're gonna grumble
head-
about the football thing for a little bit. There's a ton of comments here. You might want to get
He's
caught
oh,
up.
I
on a couple
know,
more here.
I know, they're cool.
All right.
Bravos here was asking about the Disney cards. I honestly do not know. I know there's like 3 sets coming out for Disney. I am going to, and this is an assumption, but believe me, I don't get word on everything that they are going to or not going to grade. The Disney stuff, I don't have an answer. The best thing I can tell you to do is if you have some, you want them graded, send them. If they do them, great. If they don't charge. So they don't tell me like what they're going to do, what they're not. Orlando here is going for the Jeff Wilson 101 Superfractor. We see you, Orlando.
Live the
You're
dream,
gonna
man. Live the dream.
he's gonna drive up the price of your pallets. James Hunt says, "Good evening, sir. That's all we need is for Jeff Wilson's ego to be any bigger than it already is. Why would anyone want a card of someone who gets all of his money from his mom? I thought it was. I'm confused now. He gets his money
Sports
from
Card
his
Radio
mom?
said it's his wife. Randy can't make up his mind. So who's he getting
I
money
thought it
from?
was his wife. I thought it was like market movers, and I'm lost.
I don't know. I mean, I ask my mommy for money all the time. She refuses
Yeah,
to
but
give
you're
it to
mean
me.
to her
I
because
keep
you
asking.
yell at her for not making you cookies.
That's true.
She did make me cookies this week.
Did you
I-
cry
So
about
will
it?
we have a more friendly approach to your mom then on the live stream on Friday?
No, no. Well, actually, this week starts on Sunday, right? On the calendar.
Wow.
So she has not made me cookies this week, but it's only
Wow.
been 2 days.
Wow, trying to get himself off on a technicality. I see
But
what's going on here.
Did
but
she
there was
put
one
mayonnaise
time
in your cookies?
she did make me some cookies last week.
Wow.
So we'll see how she does this week. And if she's
Uh,
listening, that's a hint.
Mm-hmm.
We'll report back on Friday of how the cookies went.
Jay, first, I'm just being patient on it. Remember, I just listed the hat yesterday, so it's patience, okay? And there's enough stuff here. I am not worried about recouping. Like, trust me, I know it sounds stupid, but
But
I was
Topps Big League
patient
drops
on.
on Thursday, Bobbles. Thursday.
No, believe me, I'm just being patient with it. And
It's Thursday.
yeah.
I think.
Anyway,
For everyone in the chat, if you think Bobble should take the money and run, put a thumbs up in the chat. He
Well,
paid
actually,
well,
might
I've
be
already
Friday.
declined the offer, so it doesn't
Might be
matter.
Friday.
Also, I
Well,
want to be. I
offer
also wanted to
Jay,
be clear that both
take the money
offers
and run.
were from a 0 feedback buyer and a 6 feedback buyer. So that
So accept
was
one of Eric's
also,
offers.
yeah. So as far as the second question, yes, just get with me on, just message me and let me know, or hit me up on Instagram or Facebook if you have it, Jay. And I'll definitely get with you on Saturday because I'll definitely be there Saturday. And hand delivering is fine. If anybody's ever going to be at the Chantilly show, just let me know and I can pick them up for you or pick them up from you and all that stuff. So I can't imagine where Topps got the idea for influencer cards. Well, like I said, there's already been some other sets out there, and this isn't a new thing, really. I mean, hell, Gary Vee had a card how long ago? Suze, she had a card.
Yeah, well, there's a Gary Vee and Ginter.
Yeah, there's Gary Vee and
for
Ginter.
jokes,
Suze was in
I picked up that
Ginter.
card some time ago and I had it in a pickup video. I put it in the corner.
Yeah, so the influencer card idea isn't anything new. It is. I did tell Carlos it's odd for him to put it in big league though. That's a little. I don't know. Booby Orr was also the secret lawyer for the Boston Strangler, possibly the Strangler himself. Damn it! I should have brought it up here because I picked up just because of Eric. I sent him a picture of it. I think it was the Life magazine from like, what was it, 68 or 69 with the Boston Strangler on it.
Yeah,
I seen that at a thrift store and I had to grab it. There's also another one I grabbed that Paul would like. Big Scott said, did someone say piggyback rides? He is already
someone here
prepared
really
to.
enjoys piggyback rides.
I'm going to make a rule though.
Right now,
If Scott gives Eric a piggyback ride.
Like, come on, Carlos, jump on. You jump on. Piggyback
No, absolutely
rides
not.
are fun. Everybody
Nope.
loves piggyback rides.
I'm morally opposed to everything that's just happened here.
If Scott gives Eric a piggyback ride, Eric has to give Scott a piggyback ride.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic idea. So how much was the hip? If you needed another one, for example, how much?
It was a lot.
Well, I would start saving, Bougie Eric. I would start saving real fast.
Yeah.
Seti is correct. They did have Aaron Hernandez for
That's
a
true.
little bit.
For a little bit, yes.
And obviously, that's just a horrible situation. And his brother just got arrested today. I don't know if you saw that. He tried to throw a brick at the with a note on it at the ESPN building in Connecticut. Yeah, it's a whole situation just gets worse and worse, even though the guy's gone now. But yeah, there was a period of time where Hernandez was making good money. Gronk was making good money. They spread the money around, and that's how they won, 6 titles.
BJ here asks, what's the best book and site to determine a fake card?
Yeah, the guys answered it right underneath.
Yeah, so as Wes and Orlando here said, Ryan from Breakout Cards, he did create a book called Spotting Fakes. Mm-hmm. But I'll also say, even aside from that, because I don't believe his book's going to show every card out there. If you ever have a question, just like reach out. I know BJ that you're in the Facebook group and everything. Um, if you have a question, just post it up and say, hey, anybody got any opinions on this? And it may not be 100%, but at least folks can say, hey, can you show me the back, or can you do this, can you do that, and at least help. Because there's many times people uh they buy stuff, and some fakes are very good, some are pretty obvious, some are good, and if there's a great community out there that's willing to help, if folks ever have questions. So John here says, what's going to sell?
Hold on just a second. On that, we had I was the one that first did it, but we had two other guys at the shop back me up. We had a guy come in. I don't know. I think maybe Friday. Maybe it was Saturday. I'm sorry. I worked both weekend days, but over the last few days, a guy came into the shop, very very excited. Thought he hit the jackpot, and handed over at a mint, absolutely perfect in every single way, Jordan rookie. And of course, I didn't even have to take it out of the top loader before I had to break the news to him. And we passed it around, and everyone just like, yeah, no, that's no good, that's no good. And it happens all the time that people that are not really into the hobby, but somehow get taken, they come in thinking they're going to get $50,000, and it's tough to tell these people, and you watch their faces drop, and you see that they get angry and they feel stupid, but I mean, this stuff, it looked like a 1990s upper deck card. It's like, this isn't even cardboard.
I don't remember how long ago it was. Probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. We had a Fleer Jordan sent to us in a submission by a gentleman. I'm not going to put his name out there or whatever. I immediately called him and my rep at SGC. This was when the Jordans were, I don't know, $600,000-$700,000 in a 10. And first question, I asked him where he got the card from. Second question, I asked my rep how in the hell he wanted me to handle it. The card looked 100% legit. It was honestly the greatest fake I had ever seen. I had both of them. I had one on my phone, one on the wife's phone, on speakerphone. We were all, three-way conversation there. And we came to the plan. I was sending the card down overnight, paying for the service, whatever the cost was on it as an expected higher declared value and all that. I showed it to I don't know how many people. In fact, I did a preview right here, live on camera, showed it up close. No one ever said a single thing about it being fake. That's how good it was. It turns out the card was counterfeit, and I actually shared the information with Ryan. I believe he added it into the Spotting Fakes book. But there are Jordan fakes out there that they check all the boxes. The only thing that I found that gave it away is I took a legit 86 Fleer card. It was a Ralph Sampson, and then I took that Jordan and I used a black light, and I shined the black light on both of the cards. There's one thing to check cards with, especially, and it may not be foolproof, but the ink, the dyes, and the paper they use will normally react differently if a card is not original. And if you can match an original and then the card you have in question, you can use a black light and see if they will reflect or react differently, because they can do the print, make that all nice and pretty and all that, and replicate all the things to look for. But the paper, the composite of the paper, is something that they would have to know the makeup to replicate. So that card was freaking insane, though. It looked 100% legit. So Just be careful out there. And John here says, don't buy raw Jordan rookies.
Well,
That's
that's a
good
great,
advice.
yeah, that is good advice, but unfortunately, you can't really guarantee that a slab Jordan rookie is real either. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't.
that's definitely true. There's fakes in
It, it,
slabs.
it,
We know that.
maybe you guys disagree, but in my opinion, that is probably the most counterfeited card on the planet.
Mm, what's your thought,
There's been a lot of
Carlos?
time for the Wagner to be counterfeited. A lot of people have tried a lot of lame. Most of them are really cheap, really bad fakes, but they've had a lot of years to try. The 52 Mantle has been a very
I
valid
was
card.
gonna, I was thinking the 52 Mantle and the 33 Gaudy Ruth.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like any card that has had a lot of value for a long time, it's all value based. If a card is a $5 card, there's not much incentive to make a fake. If a card has been the 52 Mantle has been a very expensive card for a very long time, decades upon decades. The Ruth's been an expensive card for a long time, even going back to the oldest days of the before it was even price guides. The Honus Wagner was already more expensive than all the other cards. You knew the gap was a gap there. So there's plenty of incentive if somebody wanted to make a couple of bucks to try. A lot of them are terrible fakes, but obviously they get better as time goes on. But even back way in the day, there were people making fakes of those. So probably the Ruth or the Mantle would probably be the most likely.
So BJ here says, what's the very first thing you look at? So I'll let you guys chime in on this too. And Eric, you see a lot in the shop.
Yeah.
Something that I've picked up on over time and dealing, especially with vintage stuff, one of the first things I check now is I'll take the camera on my phone and zoom in as far in as I can, and I'll check the print. And most of your fakes are going to be printed differently. In the older vintage cards, they're usually printed with little dots. You can't see it with the naked eye. It looks like just an actual printed image. But when you zoom in, the image will be made up of little dots.
Mhm.
And a modern printer will not copy that dot pattern like that. So that's something I check, learning over time on when I'm dealing with vintage, especially. So, what would you guys say when you're looking at something? If you have questions on it, and
Even
it's
before, even
probably
before I
card
look at,
determined.
even
Or
before I look at the card, even before I've zoomed in, even before I've looked at anything, if you're talking a vintage card, especially if you've handled them before, the feel in the hand, like immediately, like the thickness of the cardboard, like the gloss versus not gloss. If you barely, you even in your hand, like if you've handled enough of the particular issue, the year, whatever, if something feels off about that, before we even start looking at the rest of it, so your eyes don't even have to be on it yet. Already, if it's the wrong weight of like the cardboard and everything, sets alarm bells off before you even get started on the rest. Then obviously then you can go through a progression, a couple different things. What you're talking about, look at the way gloss versus not gloss again. But in your hand, if you've already held a bunch of them and it feels off, that's the first thing that would set alarm bells off for me.
I mean, there's so many out there though, like the Gaudis and stuff. Not everybody's like held a 33 Gaudi. So
Sure. But
that
that's why
that
I
is
made the
true.
qualifier. But I made the qualifier. If you have
Yeah.
handled these before, that can be something even before your eyes, even before you put your eyes on it. Already in your hand, you're already getting one tip, one piece of information, and then you can move through your progression.
Yeah, the first thing is that I look for is card material. That's why it took me no time at all when he handed me that Jordan the other day, is that this was a modern material. It wasn't cardboard from 1986. This was, like I said earlier, it looked like a 1990 Upper Deck card. So as soon as he handed it to me, I'm just like, yeah, this isn't even cardboard. So it's fake.
So Carla here mentions, he said, I picked up what I would call an authentically reproduced 1947 Bond bread card. Basically a replica set produced in the 80s using the same printing processes. Now, touching on this set, those that aren't familiar with it, it has a card that I would love to own in it, 47 Bond bread Jackie Robinson. There's several different images. That card is a card that most of the grading companies won't even touch now. There's also like rounded corners, square corners, and they'll do some and not the other. Um, but what is that company that Jeff Wilson went to and did that video? I was just talking to somebody about this. I think it was JJ and Sean. Uh, is it ISA or something like that? The
Oh,
company that
like the
Jeff,
grading company, whatever,
Yeah,
with
begins
like
with
the
Yeah.
shady
I.
guy running it. That guy has a
Begins
little bit of
with I.
interesting history.
yeah, well,
I want
the
to say
reason I'm
ISA
bringing
or
this
something like
up,
that.
Yeah,
yeah, I can't remember the company, but
no, that
I
sounds right.
know that James talked to the folks at the National, and that people were actually saying that their grading was really good, and that it would, people had tried cracking some of their stuff out and sending it to PSA, and
Was it about 2
they're
months ago,
like,
give or take?
it was a recent video. People were talking about it.
So it's that he did an ISA grading tour,
Yeah,
plus a grade
ISA.
reveal
They
about
have
2 months ago ish.
like a blue label
Yeah,
or
I think that's the
blue
one.
board.
I
Yeah,
think that's the
okay.
one. Yep.
So that's the right one. All right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't buy anything of theirs. I shouldn't say anything. I would be very, very, very careful of buying vintage stuff in their slab. Carlisle mentions this bond bread, and he's right. There is repro bond breads. I've talked to dealers that are very familiar with those cards, very experienced with them. Normally, you can tell by the coloring of the back of those cards because the repros will be like a cleaner and brighter color. But ISA, this young grading company, doesn't have much out there. They graded a bond bred Jackie Robinson for somebody. I talked to a couple other dealers that I trusted in vintage. They all told me, do not touch it. And I really want this card, but they told me, do not touch it. It's not real. So be careful with the ISA stuff. I know, Jeff did the tour there, and there's been some talks about the company and everything, but just be cautious because that was a huge red flag out the gates of seeing anything in their slabs. So, anyway,
Well, and second, when you're talking about a 47 bond bread, Barry Bonds
why are you going to that company?
Barry Bonds didn't play in 1947, so it's like it's fake. It's just stupid.
Wow.
So that's just stupid. Sorry.
But Bobby might have been born by 47. I don't know what year Bobby Bonds was born.
Does he have a little baby card? You got a little, bonnet and
He might.
Don't humor him. Just please move on. Jesus.
Sadie and Orlando here. We're talking about 500 mantles at a show recently that Sadie attended, and he said there was one that was fake, and it happened to be the one he was trying to buy. He went to buy about 60. He handed me back to and decided to keep the rest. Carlo here says he has an 84 Donruss Biff Pocaroba that I'm pretty sure is fake, but I'm not willing to get it graded to prove it. Go for it, Carlo. I want to see the results. In the 80s, Mini 63 Rose rookies. I would say even past the 80s, there's probably a printer running tonight printing Pete Rose fakes.
Yeah, but it comes back down to what we're talking about though. By the 80s, that was a very valuable card, so the incentive's there, right? Hobby boom, and then you've got a card that has a lot of value. Any card that rose to a lot of value, plenty of incentive to replicate it. That's why the Jordan rookie is counterfeited so much. A bunch of them. As soon as they became valuable, well, now the incentive's on.
So Paul here is talking about a PMG he purchased. It was from Eric's company, BGS. It was in a slab. They did designate missing serial number.
Yep.
I wouldn't, this is going to be different takes on this. I wouldn't call this an authentically reproduced.
It's a backdoor card.
Yeah, I would call it an incomplete card.
Yeah. But it's got everything except the serial numbering, and it did come from the proper factory. It was developed the same way as the other ones. The difference is we had that little discussion about it, and I think it was a great pickup for him. Like he obviously likes the card, so like I said, the price point was fine. There's a limit at which I would consider a backdoor card. Like I'm not paying $1,000, plus, even if it's a really cool card, even if the real version, quote unquote, the full version is like tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I just don't want to pay four figures and make a compromise. but I also understand the value aspect of it. But if you're talking something about $100, give or take, of a card you really like, that could be perfectly viable, and that's perfectly fine. And I think it was a great pickup for him in his collection.
And I would have to ask Refractor, but I'm pretty sure that some of those may not even be just backdoored. It might. He is very familiar with a lot of that backdoor stuff
Sure.
from Topps, Fleer, all of that, because he actually owns a lot of it. But I don't know if all of those that were missing the serial number were necessarily backdoored, or if there was also an issue or a year space there that it was just something with the manufacturing of the card. But I would have to ask him. I'm not going to sit here to pretend and
Let's just
know.
call them promos.
Yeah. And also in some not specifically that case, but there was also cases where it wasn't so much backdoor as in they had the inventory, the company went out of business, they sold
Mhm.
stock, and the stock got distributed out. People bought it legitimately from the company that was going out of business, but
Like
the
Kevin
product still
Durant
existed.
Chrome Autos.
Yeah, but the product still existed. So as long as it's made in the real factory, made with the real stuff, real materials, real you touch it, you hold it, and everything about it is correct, and it came from the real place, but it got there not out of packs, and
Yeah.
usually there's something missing, and that's part of the key.
The
Again,
Kevin, I mentioned the Kevin Durant thing because Brian Gray gets so much crap, but that is such an interesting story with that because it's an authentic Topps Chrome card. It's an authentic Upper Deck sticker. It's an authentic Kevin Durant autograph. But now the companies won't grade them or authenticate them even because of the lawsuit or whatever it was, cease and desist order or whatever they got put into place by, I believe it was Panini. So you have like all of the companies meshed together there, Topps, Upper Deck, Panini, Leaf, all of them in the same little pile over one single card. So it's a pretty cool card and story, but everything's legit about it. So let's see here. Seti said, "How's the slab look?" I have it. It is not. It's not one that I would like in the display case. I'll just leave it at that. He's talking about the ISAs.
You'll
I
change your
just
tune when we open up those pallets of the Topps Big League and you get your Jeff Wilson autograph, the Grail of Grails. That's going straight in ISA. First thing,
Ooh.
Jeff Wilson auto in the ISA. Wow.
It's going to depend if it's blue or black ink.
Yeah, sure. Put the pieces
uh,
together, man. Put the pieces together.
Carlisle here said Blue Jacket 66 did a great video about how to spot a fake Bond Bread card. Blue Jacket 66 is a very knowledgeable person,
Yeah.
especially in vintage stuff. I reached out to him after Carlos told me about his 49 Bowman video he did
Yep.
with all of the variations and everything. And I mostly reached out to him because I was looking at a Roy Campanella that was the gray version. And I wanted to get his opinion on if it was one that is worth paying up for. And he was honest with me and said, don't pay the extra on the gray. You know, it is limited or more limited. But for the price difference, it's just, he said, just get a beautiful regular copy. So
Yeah.
I took his advice there and held off on buying the gray. So,
Yeah. And I'll add one quick thing. He is an amazing resource for a lot of that stuff. He knows that stuff very well. But he understands, he's got a lot of background, a lot of vintage issues. But food issues and kind of more obscure issues, he is very knowledgeable on it. And his YouTube channel has a lot of great information if you are interested in that kind of thing. And he's gone into some depth on some of this stuff. So if you want to just take a deep dive and check out, if you want to learn a little bit about it, great resource.
his video on the 49 Bowman set is very informative. So, Josh here. Since we are talking grading companies, how has Tag been doing? Well,
I think you said grading companies.
I'm going to be honest, Josh. I stopped keeping track of it. I'm using my time in other ways. And there was, after several months, and there was no change other than the question marks I had, the several weeks that they went backwards. And then there was people that was saying that I had this I don't know. there's mixed bags with the way people take when I was talking about them, and quite honestly, the truth is, at the end of the day, I don't really care what they do. It was interesting at first. I wanted to see if the technology actually was going to be useful in the hobby, if the hobby was going to adapt and want the technology, seeing what kind of really I was keeping track of the numbers because I wanted to see what kind of volume they could do. And then, when we got the tale of 35,000 cards sitting there and this and that, and then you see 200 a week and then negative numbers, and the writing is clearly on the wall. 10 years in the making, and we are now almost a year since they started even running cards in the machines, and not much has changed. So I just I don't even care anymore. So I don't know what their numbers have been. So anyway, Eric, what's
Yeah.
the bounty? What's the bounty?
What's the
On
bounty?
the Timmy Two Hat's autograph version,
I
the
think
super refractor version, the ultra edition.
Yeah, I will at this point. I am gonna go with $3.75.
That's strong.
There you got it, guys. If you hit the Timmy Two Hats
Now, is that with or without
autograph-
shipping?
Oh, that's everything included. I'm
Yeah,
not
so
saying-
all in.
Oh
Gotcha.
yeah.
So
That's all.
PWE. Just
Just making sure.
PWE.
Just making sure.
Listen,
Just
you don't, even
PWE
have to put it, you don't even have to put it in a top loader. Just throw it in an envelope raw, throw a stamp on it, send it to me. That's it.
Hell with the envelope. Just put a stamp on the card.
I was gonna say, literally just right on the back of the
Just
card.
right on the back, my address, throw a stamp on it, throw it in the mailbox. That's good enough. $3.75. That's all you're getting.
Eric, you're making a joke of this, but that would be an amazing unboxing. That would be like an amazing mail video. At that point, you make a video for God's sake.
All right. And I am willing to be serious for a matter of seconds.
Mm.
We're all very proud of Tim. This is a remarkable thing. Whether you think, what are they called?
Influencers.
Influencers.
It's an influencer insert set.
Whether you think influencers should or should not have their own cards is a whole nother subject, and that's fine. But for someone that 3 years ago was not even known, no one knew who this guy was. He came up with an idea when he was out for a walk one day, and then 3 years go by, and Topps, the legendary brand in cards, is now making a card of a guy that 3 years ago was just a normal collector of mostly Providence known sports athletes. It's an amazing story, and if you know Tim and have heard him maybe on Carlos's show on Friday or on other shows, his story is completely almost unbelievable. And in a short period of time, having nothing, being a complete nobody in the hobby, and I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean, just like the rest of us, nobodies, to having his own card from Topps, it's an amazing story, and we are very proud of him. But other than that, I hate him. And if I get the card, I'm gonna cut it in half and put it through a shredder.
I want that video. Secondly, less sentimental than Eric because he's a bit of a softie. He's a little emo. I'm actually interested in the card. I like here's the thing. I made the video because I thought it'd be fun, and it was. I honestly had a lot of fun making the video. I have no interest in general terms, like Aaron from Slabstocks, whatever. Jeff Wilson. That once you were going to go down that route, fair enough. I wanted to gauge people's reaction to it. That's why when we were talking about it earlier, I make fun of it. But as much as I made fun of it, I kind of want to open a couple of boxes because I think that'd be fun content. The box price isn't so out of whack that I couldn't get a couple of boxes and have a little fun with it. I'd be rooting for the Bo Jackson card, honestly. That's what I'd rather pull myself. But it doesn't change the fact that I think, if nothing else, the controversy makes what is otherwise a completely forgettable product that no one gives a second thought about, even if it's just for a cycle or two. We're paying attention. And here's the thing, jokes, seriously, just because I do know Tim, We do know Tim. We actually broke bread with Tim. We sat down and had dinner with him. We'd have had a full dinner with him, but Eric couldn't figure out which direction is which direction. He doesn't know how to navigate
that again.
places. But the point is, we broke bread with these guys. I've had conversation when he comes to the expo. We take a little time to chat. I know the guy, so if I can get it for not quite Eric's bounty, I'd get a copy of it. Just because, like I said, I know the guy. The rest of it, I really don't care. The rest of it doesn't interest me in the slightest. But good on them if they're happy and they got a card. That's cool. And I made the qualifier in the video. I know the guy. So from that perspective of it, I'd at least be willing to grab that card if I can get it. I don't know how difficult they're going to be to get. That's the other mystery. We don't have a ratio. We don't know how many there are. I'm not going to pay a crazy premium for it. Hell no.
No.
But if it's like a modest little thing there, for that, yeah, I'd grab a card just to have it because, like I said, hey, I know somebody who's on a card.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
obviously, I mean, I was again, I was joking at the end there.
Yeah, Eric's at least willing to go to $5.
No, I still won't pay that much, but if I, it'd be again, we're all very, very proud of him, and it'd be nice to own one and just it's a cool, the whole thing is cool, and Tim's a great guy, so I'm very happy for him.
But let me get your opinion on this, and you can answer because you know Tim, and I'm pretty sure the other people, like we know enough about him. But did you find the checklist odd that it's in a baseball product? And from what I have seen, and I don't watch every bit of information that all of these people put out or anything like that, but I don't know that any of them are really baseball people.
Sure. I think it goes beyond that though. Like, so here's the thing: the fun part about making a video like that is that you get the full spectrum of comments. You get some folks who are just generally irritated with it. Obviously, they respond in kind. You got other folks that are a little bit thoughtful of it because there were some really good comments. One person kind of pointed out that they feel their opinion was that it kind of spoke to more like Fanatics wants these people, like it's a chicken or the egg, but it's the opposite. It's in reverse. It's not so much they wanted these influencers to help move the product, is that they have them in the product in the hopes that they can also move some of those in, because there are some relationships. Jeff Wilson has made a lot of industry connections. So where Tim falls into this, my opinion, is very similar to the reason that the Got Baseball Cards guy ended up in the Hobby documentary. As soon as Jeff Wilson was involved, it just so happens he's got a good association with this. Well, by association, there's a kind of a connection, a bit of an opportunity there. So I believe that helped be at least part of the conversation of how he got part of that as well. You got another offer of $300? There you go. Good job, Eric. Good job getting that offer in there.
No,
But-
take the money.
Yeah, take the money, you jerk. We got Topps Big League to buy, Bobbles. Focus, man. Eyes on the prize, bro. Eyes on the prize. But I would suspect that's probably why Tim got there. Because one other person, separate, made a very valid point. If we're just talking about influencers, though, even whether you like them or don't like them, I don't care. The Jeff Wilson thing makes sense only because he's got a pretty big profile on YouTube. But again, would kids care? Not, probably not. However, his claim to fame is his YouTube channel and a sports card analytic tool. Kids aren't using necessarily sports card analytic tools, so that's not a thing. Tim is obviously, Jeff Wilson has a business relationship with it. Jeff Wilson owns, a stake in Slab Strong, obviously. So I understand how he got on the checklist, but it's for a card holder. It's a very specific, specialized card holder. Mama breaking. Okay, fine. I kind of get that. Card Collector 2 is a card shop. They do some breaks and stuff, so like I get that piece of it. And then Aaron from Slab Stocks. Sorry, is it Slab Stocks? Whatever. Anyway, so the point is, like, again, it was a data tool, and now it's a YouTube channel. I don't really know what they do at this point. Like, I actually don't know what they do at this point. I know they take submissions in their bulk submitter for some stuff as well. But like,
I think they're mostly, just from what I gather, they're mostly interested in like F1, soccer.
yeah,
And then I know they were doing like, I think they were doing whatnot stuff and everything.
Yeah. But it's very nebulous. My point is that Slab Stocks, so like all of them, you could question any of them if you want to. But Slab Stocks at this point is like the most nebulous of them. How big a following do they have relative to the other ones? What do they actually do at this point? They just kind of exist.
So here's another question. a guy that's been connected heavily. He's not everybody's. He's not on everybody's good list in the hobby, but connected obviously heavily with tops slash fanatics.
Yeah.
Influencer, 100%. But that would be your boy, Daps Man. How did he get excluded from the checklist?
That was literally my reply to one of the comments. I think it was Paul who made the joke, and I go, well, part of it was that he said, "Is like Carlos, how did you get out of this? For all I've done for the Fanatics Overlords, Eric, for all I've done to promote the Fanatics, the fact that I was excluded, I am morally offended, and the fact that Daps Man was not included after I dubbed him Daps Man, I am triply offended. I skipped from doubly to triply offended.
Is it the SSSSSSSP?
I went originally with the Z. We got to be edgy, so it's Daps Man. And I make it 2 words. I've decided to make it 2
So
words.
it's
Some
the
people make it 1.
ZP. It's the ZP edition.
Mhm.
I mean, so you had mentioned before we went on, you had messaged me and said that you had found a little quirk in the product that the last 10 cards are short printed.
Well,
And
no,
so
to
he
be fair,
stated-
let me. I mentioned that one to you because it's the most extreme example. It's actually 3 tiers of short prints. It's worse. It's 3
Whoa.
separate tiers of short print. They get tougher. That one I gave you was the toughest version, the last 10 cards.
Okay, well, we'll go with the worst based example
yeah,
because
sure.
this is the one you should be able to complete. The others, I would hope. But to complete the set, you had mentioned there was 10 cards.
Yeah.
That are a ratio and odds to hit one of the 10 cards, 1 in 360 packs.
1 in 360 packs, yeah.
And this is to complete the base set.
Mhm.
And we figured out that that is 1 in 20 boxes, which is 1 per
One
case,
per case,
right?
1 per case. Yeah, 1 case of
And you
hobby.
We were talking the other day, cases were roughly $1,000, probably just tipping the scale a little
Yep.
over $1,000.
That was the pre-sale price I saw on a couple places, yeah.
So realistically, if a kid wanted to open packs to complete the set,
They would be an idiot and need to take math classes
they would need to spend $10,000
with perfect
hope-
correlation.
and hope they got no duplicates, got all the hits they were supposed to. $10,000 to complete the Topps Big League set. Does that make any damn sense at all?
It does from the perspective that now I understand that I need pallets. I covered this earlier. Now I know that I need pallets. Is my only hope that. So, like I said, Eric, we're going halvesies. I asked originally, but now it's like a demand. We got to go halvesies because you get the Timmy Two Hats card. We got that. And so we'll split. So you can have that one, and then I will work my way. Like I think there's a Juan Soto card in there. From the legendary one, there's a Jackie Robinson bobbles. You want in on this
Oh,
action?
that's pretty sick.
Jackie Robinson is card 302. That's 1 in 360 packs. So you need that.
When is this being released?
The 31st. So I originally said Thursday. I think that's Friday. I think the 31st is Friday.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the opening day of the CSA show. I mean, do we each get a box and crack it?
I'm not
on
joking.
Friday?
Like, okay, can I be 100%? I want to be 100% serious with all of y'all. I have spent literally like 2 days making fun of this internally, and then I made the video. I kind of want to get a box or two now for the lulz. I kind of do. Like, I legitimately, like, I could record a video for this. Okay, and imagine if I pulled one of those stupid influencer cards. Imagine.
Do you
jokes.
think? Do you think breakers
Should
are
do case
going to
breaks
do
in this.
breaks of Topps Big League? Is this the route that we are taking?
Bobbles, listen to me. Could you imagine, Eric? Envision it with me. A case breaker. They open it up and they're like, "Oh, it looks like we're pulling one. Oh, it's one of those influencer cards. Tim from Slapstrong." And Eric is in the chat like, "Yes, Mojo, LFG."
Bam!
I know. That's great.
I think.
I mean,
I might.
Are they going to do
well, I think
breaks
I'm
of
getting it.
Big League?
I don't know.
Like,
Does anybody do break? Has anyone ever done? Can I ask a serious question for the chat or anybody? Has there ever been like a case break for Topps Big League? It's been around a couple of years. Like,
so.
I kind of doubt it, but that'd be amazing. A case break would be 20 boxes.
Is this their cheapest product that's really aimed for young kids?
that I'm aware of. Like to
Well,
put it in
it was
perspective, Eric,
opening day.
it's
Opening day was
it's pretty
pretty
cheap. Yeah.
Probably put influencers in then.
But
Look
I-
at it this way, Eric.
want people
Any
watching
product that exists is
YouTube.
normally $100 Canadian. Like it's pretty much across the board. Like if a product gets released and Tops is on it, it's going to cost me a minimum of $100. This one is $69.99 pre-sale. I was like, wow, it's sub
That's
$100 in 2023. That means it's cheap, relatively
Well,
speaking.
that's like $5 here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Case, let's go.
Yeah, a case is like $20. I'm in.
That's fairly bad math. But there's 20 boxes. $5 per is $100. But yes.
Oh, I'm not spending $100. That's crazy.
I'm searching eBay to see if there's any 2023
They pre-sales.
Topps
Oh, any breaks?
big league.
Like I'm not joking, Eric. Like I'm kind of like half like, should I get a box? Should I get a box or two?
Well, I think we could have some fun for that price. Maybe we could have some fun on a Friday. And
That's what I'm kind of thinking. Like I'm
and,
kind of thinking like, if I put in the
especially if
order
Tim-
now,
if
could I
Tim
get the box?
joins us. Having Tim join us while we open it and pull his card would be pretty awesome.
That would be. It's like, is it fixed? Yeah, you're damn right it's fixed. There's almost no chance that we're pulling that. By the way, right after the Tim card, I pulled the Bo Jackson.
Yeah. You're in the
So
same boat.
we have player breaks.
Holy crap, Eric! Tim from Slab Strong's player break. Let's go.
I'm trying to find it. Let's see.
Wait, could you? Is there a Jeff Wilson player break? Because that'd be amazing.
I want to see. Let's see. Yep, right.
Oh,
no,
come
yep, right here.
on. Come
Right here.
on. Yes.
It's right here.
Yes.
Hold on. What's his last name?
What,
Jeff?
Geoff Wilson?
Tim.
Oh, Tim. See if I can tell you. Hold on.
Let me just put Tim. Let's
Ernie.
see. Tim. Here we go, Eric.
He's got it?
Damn.
Oh man, that's amazing, Eric. North of 7. Oh, I know who that is. Yeah.
There you go, Eric.
Tim McHenry. There he is.
Wow. That's hardcore. Not gonna lie.
And this is break number 1.
Oh, of course. Like,
I don't even know how this even works because I don't do this stuff. So it's like,
basically, the way it would normally work. Just to answer this question quickly, the way it would normally work most of the time. North of 7, I'm familiar with, so I'm familiar with them. Normally, what happens is they open up the case, usually on a YouTube channel or somewhere. That's usually better policy. Open it up so people can see it. So they open it up. You win you win an auction like normal, and then you're supposed to get any cards for the player. Any cards for the player, they get pulled out of the case. You get all of it. Normally, if they're doing it properly, you get everything. Base, parallels, whatever. But in that case, it's like with Tim, it's like you really got 2 options. Like, I don't care if it's for $2. Like, you're taking a chance. One case. How short printed are these influencer cards? I would hope you'd get a couple of these influencer cards in that case. I would hope.
well, for $1.99, I can get all the Tim cards.
You
Well, no, you have
potentially,
to bid.
Yep,
You have to
potentially.
bid.
Yeah, you're
'cause it's
doing an
auction.
auction, and
No one
normally,
else is gonna bid.
well, I think everybody in this chat now. That's amazing. I love it.
Josh here says Jeff Wilson's son has a kids channel as well. Who would be the target audience for the product?
I don't think his
That's
kid would
very
want it.
true.
I don't think his
could've
kid
put
would
it-
want it.
But he has 2. I think he has 2 boys that do some kid. Yeah, it's like a kid channel.
So here's the thing. Seriously, I don't know, but Tim would probably be able to answer that question privately. I'm sure they get a couple of copies of the card. I'm sure they would get the hang on. Yeah. So I figured they would have. So he'd already have it. Like he honestly could have, and he could have an autographed copy. It's like, there you go. You would get copies of the card for yourself.
So I don't know who the question is asked to. So we all 3 can answer. But if Carlos was on the
Wouldn't change shit
checklist
for
of
me.
influencers,
I
would you
wonder.
have a
I
different
wonder.
opinion?
I wonder how I suckered them into that one.
I wouldn't have a different opinion. I would still laugh at it and say it's silly.
Yeah. So would I, and I'd be involved in this
If
scenario.
I was on it, I would laugh at it and say it was silly.
Yeah.
I
That's what I
mean-
mean. Now, would I have fun with it? Now, so imagine this scenario. I would have fun with that in the live stream. In that case, you better believe I'd open up a couple boxes. I go, I'm gonna pull my own goddamn card. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hating on anything. It's just
No.
there's been influencers for years. I mean, hell, we've talked about many of them in the hobby, right? Over our lifetime. But there's never been cards dedicated for them. And a lot of these people, in fact, Eric just mentioned Tim was unknown of who Tim was.
Mhm.
As Eric put it, he was a nobody
Yeah.
3 years ago. And
Yeah.
I'm not, saying that to like
No, that's a
talk
fact. It's
down
not
on
an
But
Tim.
Bubbles, did we not also kind of address that indirectly in the course of this conversation? I would be interested if it does not too many dollars out of pocket. I would probably go and pick up the card, just
But
because, like I
yeah,
said, I know the guy. Under the right circumstances, like if I'm not taking a crazy amount of money out of my pocket, yeah, I'd pick up a copy.
but the point I was trying to get to is, okay, everybody on that list, outside of Ryan, I don't know that I knew a single one of those people's names. I don't even know if most of those people were even in the hobby 3 years ago, or at least not known in the hobby at all. Ryan did have his YouTube channel and everything before the pandemic, before the boom and all that.
And also, he had
used
been
to-
operating on Instagram for years prior to that.
Right. But as far as Jeff Wilson or Tim, Mama Breaks, I didn't never hear of her until maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
So this checklist is compiled of mostly people who got popularity during the boom, during the pandemic, and Tops/Fanatics is using them to now drive and create something in a product that is literally the lowest of low product. So it's not that it's funny. It's kind of silly, and there has been influencers all throughout time, but there's never been a need. Like Tops hasn't put those people in sets. Yeah, they did it. I even told Carlos privately. I said, this set to me feels like it would make more sense in Ginter, because they've done the quirky people. They've done the Gary V's. They've put a freaking egg. They've put a tiger mask or whatever in Allen and Ginter. But in a set that is designed for kids, it feels a little off, honestly. So, who knows what their goal is with this? I hope like one in a case for 10 card checklist to complete a set. You want kids in the hobby. Is this creating a chase, or trying to get them into collecting or whatever? So but anyway, nothing against anybody on the list. I really don't care who was on the list, but it's still silly. It could be me, Eric, Carlos,
It is.
Brad, and Bobby as the 5 people on the checklist, and we would all still laugh and make fun of ourselves. So
Yeah, but we would also still shamelessly have fun showing the cards.
Yeah,
I can guarantee in that scenario 100%. It's like, we got the Burrell.
It is somewhat of an honor to even be considered and have a company come to you and ask for this. So it's really cool, as an individual, to have Tops call you and say, "Hey, we were thinking," we'd all be blown away if our phones rang and were ever asked for that. Tim's having a lot of fun with it. He's joking about it constantly. His memes are just hysterical on his Instagram right now. He's having a ton of fun with it. He's not taking it super serious and thinks that he's better today than he was yesterday.
He should think he's better today because, like I said, in the course of this whole conversation and talking, I have pre-ordered a box of this stupid shit. Okay. So they have sold one box they would not have sold otherwise, based on the premise of the hilarity of this. And one box.
And Carlos can tell you this, because Bobbles, I don't think you've been to a show with Tim. Whether it's in Canada or the United States, this guy cannot walk from one end of a show to the other, whether it be a massive national or whether it be a 100 table show. He cannot walk from one end of the building to the other without being stopped 5 times.
He does wear a ginormous hat.
He does.
And he wears the chain, and he wears a small hat on top of the ginormous hat. And
Thanks.
He has marketed himself better than just about anybody in the hobby. And because of his personality, and he's so outgoing and friendly and filled with energy and everything, and positive vibes for the hobby, people just are drawn to him like a magnet. And he can't run to the bathroom without being stopped 5 times. And that's why he's getting chosen for this.
Well,
And
in all
like I said,
seriousness-
and possibly it helps that you're associated with somebody else who's on the checklist.
No, listen, I'm not blind to that.
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
But he's told the story. He just walked up to Jeff at a show. Jeff had no idea who this guy was, never heard of him before, and just grabbed his product, in a slab strong,
Yeah, threw it at
and
him.
said, "Hi, I'd like to introduce myself," and then just slammed a card down on the floor. And Jeff's like, "What the hell is this?" And they started talking, and next thing you know, they're on cards together. Well, not together, but you know what I mean.
No, I understand, but don't forget. Let's not skip a step here. It's not like he was able to do that in front of Tops. So it helps to know some people who know some people, network
Sure.
with some people, and be in the vicinity, be around those networking things. We make fun of the Mint Collective and all those things, and I do. But as a networking event for people in the industry, if you want to see and be seen by someone, look, anybody who's on that checklist, I guarantee you that it's not like the Tops guys pulled the name out of a hat and they've never heard, or they went on a social media and did a quick search, go sports card influencers, and pulled these 5 names out. I can almost promise you that somebody at Tops has at least spent some time talking to every single person on that checklist over the course of these networking events.
Of course, I would assume that's exactly how it was done.
Yeah. And that's how like, now we know who you are. We've talked to you. We've probably seen you at a bunch of events. And then when the thought came up to do this, they probably had like a list internally, and they knew the people that they had at least dealt with before. And that was probably how they got on that checklist.
Sure. Absolutely.
Well, Paul here is trying to help Eric spend his money. I would also like for you guys to help Eric spend his money. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button. Eric loves it. He does appreciate it.
If I keep paying for these 5 freaking shows who steal my money, I'm never going to have the 33 show that I want.
Well, Carlisle here has a very good point. If they're putting this much effort into 2023 Topps Big League, there could very well be a chance for they chrome everything.
You make the joke. I want there to be a top Big League chrome. I want it so bad. I probably won't buy a box of that because they'll bump up the price accordingly. This one is cheap enough that I like. What's that?
It's got to be Sapphire too. If they Sapphire everything.
Eric, Tim Sapphire Refractor. Get ready.
I'm in. I will
brace
pay.
Yourself.
I will maybe pay $5 for that one.
Ooh.
$3.75 for the base, but maybe $5 for that one.
That's hardcore.
You guys are hearing this live right now, and Eric doesn't buy modern and ultra modern cards.
No.
This is a revelation, guys.
I'm putting this one aside for the Timmy Two Hats Sapphire Refractor right there.
You heard it, Tops. Get to printing.
That right there is the easiest $5 Tops has ever made.
Yep.
All they have to do is make the damn card.
It is ready to go. It is already spent.
Amazing.
Ziggy here says, "Happy Monday, crew." And Jay says, "I just bought a 1930 Alice in Wonderland card. It was called and displays on the front of the card the thimble. It was only a PSA 8, but I found it silly cool. Perhaps that sums up the hobby."
True.
I was sitting having a conversation with Paul because he messaged me and asked, "Was that your Dr. Dre auctioned off on PWCC?" And I said, "No, sir." But what did it go? I think I asked him what it went for, but he sent me a screenshot of it. And I was like, "What is the pot?" I was actually out driving, or I would have just looked myself. I asked him what the pop report was on it now, because I knew at the time I sent the first batch in, there was only 3 in the pop report. There is currently 4 in the pop report. 1 just recently sold on PWCC. The other 3 are within arm's reach of me in my possession. So congrats to whoever won the Dr. Dre on PWCC, but I own the other 3, including the highest graded copy. So that one, now I do have one on eBay, but it is priced. It's priced accordingly. But yeah,
Maybe
so
talk
there's
to
one
Bray
out there
Wyatt.
floating around apparently, and then I have the other three. And any of them that was popping up Raw, I was buying, so that does not surprise me. We got Omar in the house, Retro Hoop. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? Jeff here said, did you guys already talk about Lamar Jackson requested a trade 3.5 weeks ago?
Yep.
We talked about Lamar Jackson approximately probably about an hour and 15 minutes ago. So, you know, again, if he stays, awesome. If he doesn't, I'm not going to hate the guy. He's got to do what's best for him. He's playing in a league where we've seen his careers could end at any moment. And, you know, get his money. Let Lamar get his money. I'm just a fan of the team. So it is what it is.
We have a breaking news. Breaking news. If you are interested in what the Timmy Two Hats card will look like, so you'll know it when you pull it. I have the image of the card. Here we go. You want to make me big?
Don't make him big.
Make me big.
Make him real small. That's what I did.
Make me big. It's Timmy
let's
Two
see
Hats time. No, me big.
I'm trying
Relax.
to figure out how.
Drag and drop. You got to drag and drop, man. You just drag and drop.
Whatever. Just show it.
No, I can't now. You kicked me off the screen. All right.
Bubbles, what you do is you literally on the screen, you take the person and you drag them and drop them to the spot you want them at.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's you literally do it on the screen. Yeah, like that. But you do it in that other mode. You literally just drag them and drop them to where the big one is. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. You ready? Here we go. Timmy Two
Better be
Hats.
good. It's better be good.
That is what you're looking for, folks.
What? That's it. That's the whole
the
card. There's no like no name
that
no
is-
nameplate on it or
That
something.
is the image that will be on the card.
Okay. We wanted the card.
That's what's gonna. It's gonna be a piece of cardboard with that.
There should be an overlay, some kind of graphic, icon, something, a Slapstrong logo.
Those have not been released yet. That is what is going to be on the card. That's it. That's
Okay.
the picture you're going to get. That's what you're paying $3.75 for.
Well, that's what you are paying.
No offense to Tim. This is pure offense to Tops. That was boring as hell. Like,
Yeah, we were hoping
why
for
couldn't they
this.
have made it funny or something? He was just like, he's standing there looking, he looked uncomfortable in that picture.
That's because he never is serious for any moment of his life. He had to take a serious picture, even though he's wearing that hat.
Man.
I wonder if I can
Omar
get
here
my, I wonder if I can get my refund on my pre-order.
Houston. He collects cards. Is this a connection to She Collects Cards? But anyway, it says, can I get a shout out? There you are.
Shout out.
And then it says, please sub. I don't know who it is, but hopefully they have good content and not anything controversial. Come on, we all know that Jeff Wilson is 3 or 4 times better. That's pretty good, Jeff.
I heard the opposite. On the Discord, I saw that Will Greer was a 4 times better investment than Jeff Wilson card. And I said, I need charts. I'm willing to accept this thesis, but I need charts.
Look, y'all have gotten me resorted to buying hats and stuff now because nobody has bought my damn Will Greer. It's color matched. It's the optic. The rated rookie is even color matched. It's serial numbered, and nobody's bought it. I know what I've got. Come on, guys. Y'all heard the man, Will Greer, and I have it right here. It's just waiting to be shipped out for grading. I'll even send it in an order. Let's see. The next logical conclusion is group submitter cards. Well, hey, I'll tell you now, I probably wouldn't make that cut either. So,
well, we already have Aaron from Slab Stocks, so we've got that. We've got that covered.
Jeff Wilson.
I need a Brad and Baubles. I need a Brad and Baubles. I need this in my life.
So would that get you up to $6?
Well, Brad will be $6 Canadian,
Let's
so
see.
that's like 35 cents.
Do you have 35 cents?
No, but my mom does.
Interesting.
Mrs. Wade, please cut his allowance.
Hey,
Josh
Tommy,
here
let
said,
you
did the
do it.
jersey get cut up as event worn memorabilia? Oh, Josh is already helping Fanatics to Tops create subsets on top
That'll
of
be the
subsets.
Chrome version. In the Chrome version, we'll get the fancier one.
We'll get the relics. They'll be in the boxed, like the mega boxes, the retail mega boxes. You'll get the
Brilliant.
one memorabilia card per mega box or something, and it'll be a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch piece. And you notice it's all white, so that's about the only thing you're ever going to get because Topps will cut the entire logo out.
So Eric, I think Topps Big League also has blaster boxes. So
Yeah, they do.
You could probably grab a couple of blaster box. I'm grabbing a hobby box. I might as well.
Let's see. We know what you have too. And let's see. Sell the hat combined with the Will Greer for 300.
The Will Greer,
Man,
yes.
everybody is wanting me to take the 300.
Take the 300. Take the money,
We'll
honey.
see. We will see. Let's see here. Checking in on the game and Kraken and Wild are playing. Mrs. probably isn't going to be happy about that. So her team is battling for a spot, and the Wild have been hot as hell. So gonna have to start looking in the couch cushions.
That's who's gonna get 35 cents.
Mrs. Wade, don't allow him to look in the couch cushions either. Sew them together. Sew them together. Sew them to the couch.
Now, I think this would have been better for Tim's card. What do you guys think?
Well, if they crop out the dork on the left, sure.
Okay, Tim's on the left.
It would have made me so happy if it just flipped it. If the phone, some of the phones will do the orientation. It would make me happy if it flipped it properly.
Eric, you do have some leverage, right? So,
oh, gee, oh, God damn it!
You have Tim now with the Topps card. You have a connection that you speak to at Upper Deck. You could get them to battle over the influencer counterpart cards. You would make you would be on the list for the set. You might have an in, and especially if you get the crumble cookie thing, which I told Carlos he better get on the ball.
I heard that, yeah. Like he's telling me he's putting a little pressure on me, saying like there's apparently there's some movement on the crumble cookie front.
Yeah, there is one of the reseller YouTube channels. She stopped at Crumble Cookie and she went in to get Crumble Cookies. And she's like, not a sponsor, but hit me up. You know, she's pushing for the Crumble Cookie sponsorship. So, you know, and she's got a huge following.
Now,
and,
Eric, would you still be interested in getting a counterparts card if it was Eric Sanderson from Beckett? If you were officially declared as being from Beckett on the card, and that is what's out there in the world.
No.
Okay, what about he doesn't have to be on the card with you? What if though the cards came slabbed by Beckett already? Like the you know how they do the products with the
No. I don't want to be associated with that company until they get fixed.
If you say so.
And then
I think that could be the Bobbles. That could be the SSP. We could airbrush a Beckett jersey on him.
If Beckett turns
the ugly looking one too,
I'm more than happy to be associated with that company. But until they do, I will continue to bash them at every opportunity.
What if they say it's okay for you to hold your poopy pony drawing in your image?
The sweet in the pot, that's a pretty good deal.
The pot is getting pretty sweet. It's hard to keep my my morals and ethics when you're talking about bringing.
What if they throw in a box of crumble cookies
and a bag of chocolate sticks?
Settle down.
Half
you can
a
have
bag.
You can have a chocolate stick and the bag of cookies and the box of cookies.
And I get to put Poopy Pony on a card
Yep.
with me.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll throw my ethics out the window. I'll jump in that.
This was easier than
You
the
heard
Lamar.
it here,
This was
guys.
easier than the Lamar negotiation, Bobbles.
Yeah,
Whew.
See, when you negotiate, you get the shit done.
yeah. I'd throw all my ethics right out.
Mm.
Eric is now officially a fan of Beckett. He wants to be slabbed on a card in a Beckett slab. You heard it here.
We learned that once again, the
first.
$1 Million Man was correct that everyone has a price.
Absolutely.
So Jeff here is rooting on for Vegas. Mrs. Wade said, got it. She's going to work on those couch cushions.
Thanks
Josh
a lot.
said, I'm not a math major,
Thanks.
but that would be a great ROI on the hat. Yes, I know.
Topps Big League is coming out on Friday, Bubbles. Friday. You don't have that much time. You need to get paid. You need the card out the door. You need the hat out the window. You need to get it over there. Get your positive feedback and get the cash money so you can get your case of Topps Big League. Let's go.
This is completely random, and I don't have it. I actually might have it. I'll have to see here in a second. But Jay here says Market Movers pricing app shows the hat price with an up directional arrow, but the 90-day trend looks choppy. So in terms of total cookie outcome, Cookie Monster chomps sell. I'll see if I have it and tell you why that's not only coincidental but funny. Could we get a limited edition Thunderdome influencer card? Uh-oh, Josh is bringing back the Thunderdome idea.
I think that would be an amazing insert set.
Yeah,
We can put together some combinations. It'd be incredible.
Eric, don't sell Poopy Pony. Hockey Barn said cricket cards. Jeff here says, hey, Tag will slab those bad boys. No, Eric's has to be in Beckett. But if Beckett, declines the opportunity, Eric also has an in with Tag. He definitely could get Tag to do them.
I do have an in with Tag. That is true.
He knows at least one person, and some of them have necks. Not all.
Jeremy Murray card
I
with
want
his
to get to know
ridiculous
those guys
smile.
that were in those crazy outfits at the show. Those are the guys I really want to get
The
to.
robots? They've been dismantled in sofa parts.
Oh, I'm gonna leave this here real quick while I look for something.
Yes.
Come on. No one else has to do this. No one else. No. Nobody else has to live like this. This is ridiculous.
Good times. I like it. There have been some good ideas coming out of this one. I'm not gonna lie. And by the way, that wasn't a joke for the show. I literally did pre-order a box of this stupid thing. I'll see. I'll cross my fingers and hope it, Eric, if it comes in on Friday, I swear to God, if they get it and they can get it to me by Friday, that'd be amazing. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping for the best. Otherwise, it'll be next week.
So here's why the Cookie Monster comment was funny, because I did pick up a freaking Cookie Monster t-shirt for the weekend too. So it was very coincidental and
Please
funny.
Put that. Can you slip that on right now, like over your other shirt? Just slip it. Please wear that.
So anyway, guys, anything of any seriousness to add to this before we go? It's been a Monday. The missus is actually working because they decided to do an update on her computer on a Monday, and her laptop for work is very, very old, and it took all damn day. So now she's very behind on work and decided that she was going to get on and try to catch up a little bit. So I need to go check and see how she's doing, because I know she's going to need to go to bed soon so we can get up in the morning and do it all over again. But is there anything else to add that we missed, didn't talk about, what have you?
I think we got a lot of mileage out of the set, the influencer piece, and the whole bit of it. I think it was pretty good. And Hockey Barn's right. The shirt is fire.
Yeah, I seen it. I like picking up weird. I got
be on fire. But
what, you're dissing Cookie Monster now? Jesus, man.
And you're one, Mrs. Wade, do not make him any more cookies. He
I was gonna
just
say
talked
you
crap
reject
about
the patron
Cookie
saint of
Monster.
cookies. You are messing with the wrong forces.
Cookies.
Who is more qualified to be the patron saint of cookies?
Man,
That would
I
be
don't-
the funniest thing you've ever said. That's just
I've done better. That's solid, but I've done better.
oh God.
But anyway, guys, I will update the site as soon as there is any movement. I do apologize. If you have Topps cards, if you are in fact a baseball collector or fan or what have you, bear in mind SGC is ending the $9 special on Series 1 Topps. I believe it was the 30th. You have to have your order in the system online by the 30th. They do not have to have it by then. It has to be entered in the system by then, for the $9 special. So just throwing that out there if anybody, is doing Topps or grading them or anything like that. And I'll update the site whenever there's movement, and hopefully everything works out, because y'all know me. If the order does come back, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it's done and back to you guys as quick as possible. But at the same time, it's going to put a lot of pressure on me, because the Chantilly show is this weekend and I would like to go and enjoy it. So we'll just have to see how things play out. But as always, Carlos, Eric, appreciate you guys. Chat, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Y'all were awesome tonight. And another Monday is in the books. Obviously, Carlos will be live Friday. Eric will be hanging around behind a grocery store with a raccoon.
Well, basically, where you
something
see him right now, he's just literally going to sit there until Friday.
Yeah, I think
Think about what he's
going
done.
to Target. You're going to Target to hang out right in the parking lot until the stalker comes, so you can get all of the big league blasters. Is that the story we're hearing?
Well, Bubbles, there's two angles to this. One is that Eric is going to be going out of his way to get as much top big league as possible, obviously, to try to get his team card. But the other thing is, I need you now to spend some time angling with, and by angling, I mean ordering, Peter, to create the new special, which will be Topps Big League through SGC, so that you will get the 1,500 card submission of Tim cards directly from Eric after he's done opening the blasters.
You're on
Tim,
something.
now I can imagine the review
Only
video of you showing
influencer cards,
Tim,
though.
Tim, 3
I
hours later, Tim.
I
Tim.
will say this. When I get one, and at some point, I'm sure I will, one way or another.
Tim.
There's some ways. Just leave it like that. So anyway,
Wow. Hashtag bougie influence.
so when I get one, I will immediately send it to Bobbles to be sent out for grading, and we will have a Timmy Two Hats in a SGC slab. So
There you go.
It's all coming together.
We'll get it done, Eric.
Yeah.
We will get it done. Are you going to send one to Brad too for PSA? I mean, are you going to go for the rainbow?
No.
You got to do tag, BGS, CSG.
No, just you, buddy. I need Timmy in a Timmy Two Hats needs to be in a tuxedo. It just wouldn't.
There we go. And then you need to get the Show Your Slab guys to make number 2 chain for SGC. Yes. That way you can wear it around.
Well,
and show your support.
When it comes back to you, that is how you will display it for a video. So
okay.
You can be the one that displays it first, and you can wear it in the chain.
All right, that's a deal.
All set up.
I think Eric will change his tune after he sees my PSA 11 Tim card.
There you go.
I know a guy.
You know a guy.
But anyway, guys, appreciate all of you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and week. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy. And until the next video, I'm out.